I have been single for 9 years. My last real relationship ended in 2017 when I was 27 years old. And I don't even feel like I was even really in love. Like, I don't even think I really knew what love was like in my 20s. And in my 30s, I've had like little situationships here and there. And even still, I was never in love and never felt like I could bring them home to my family and meet my mom or anything like that. But looking back on it now, I would rather be single than end up with any of those people that I used to be with. And it's just so crazy how much I really did have to learn about myself. And I truly do understand the reason why God has slowed down this journey for me of like settling down, because there was a lot of work that had to be done internally first. And the peace that I have now just by being by myself is unmatched. So it's like whoever tries to come into my life has so much competition with this little bubble of peace that I've built for myself. I have gotten past the phase of like feeling sorry for myself, like, oh, I wish I had a man. Like, I have gotten past that. And sometimes the grass just looks greener on the other side. I know that some people in relationships probably look at me and they're like, God, like, you're so lucky to have this time to yourself. So it's like really just how you look at things. But it's just really strange just thinking that I'm 36, single, no kids, and I kind of getting to that point where I feel like I don't even know if I want any anymore. I've been having these conversations more with my family and just kind of opening them up to that reality, because I feel like for a second everyone was just like, oh, for sure you're gonna have kids. I'm not gonna rush into having kids just for the sake of having kids, and I'm not gonna rush into getting married just for the sake of being married. Decentering men from your life is the best thing that you can do, and just center yourself. It's no better feeling than pouring all of your love into yourself and investing in yourself and just making yourself better. And yeah, go on the dates, have fun, whatever, but it's not everything. And it's so crazy now because I've just gotten extremely picky. Like, I haven't found someone that I'm actually attracted to that I want to get to know. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just because I feel like I just have it so good on my own that I don't even want to risk this piece. If you know, you know. If you're in this type of position, you know that you're holding out for the best of the best, and you've learned not to settle, and that's why you've gotten this far. So anyone else that's in my shoes right now that's been single for this long, I see you.
Stay single and child-free will keep you happy and safe. The Economist just posted an article about the gender war in China. It talks about how men's frustration and anger is now being systemically directed toward women. This is a very interesting topic because it's not just China. This is a universal problem right now. For those men who are struggling with their own lives, why do they always take the frustration out on women, or they claim that feminism has destroyed modern women? What are they angry about exactly? So just like the manosphere you see all over the world, there are male influencers in China with massive followings who constantly spew hatred toward modern women. They are calling on men to rise up against the so-called extreme feminism. They claim feminism is a foreign plot designed to destabilize Chinese society. Some of them are saying that women who post feminist contents are being paid by foreign governments. Now, to talk about the Chinese version of the manosphere, we're going to talk about the one-child policy and the deeply rooted preference for sons. There are 30 million more men than women in China. For the men who are at the bottom of the social ladder, they simply cannot find a wife. And the second one is women are leveling up in every aspect in our lives. The women in China nowadays are more educated than ever. While women are earning good money and genuinely enjoy our single lives, many men are still trapped by the traditional expectations. Is first you have to own a property before you can even thinking about getting married, plus a bride price that can easily cost tens of thousands of dollars. So they invented a term for this. It's called exploding gold coins to describe women draining their wallets through dating and marriage demands. These are the same men who say gender equality exists now, so why should they pay for everything, while simultaneously wanting a woman who is obedient, traditional, and put them first. Isn't that interesting that society spent centuries using the cultural institution to control women? Now that control is breaking down, more and more women are choosing ourselves, putting ourselves first, but men are still living inside the old patriarchal fantasy. And here's another thing, is that the feminist post promoting singleness and child-free get taken down all the time on the Chinese social media. The feminist content creator got banned all the time, while the deeply misogynist post stay up just fine. Why? Because the official is letting that happen. It's much safer for these men to take the frustration out on women than questioning the system. A lot of these men, they do not have the courage to challenge the male authority or the system. So, you know what? They're letting it happen to let men blame women. So ladies, keep building your own life, put yourself first, and making your money and get the bag. It's the most powerful and the safest thing you can do right now.
I'm going to get yelled at in the comments for saying this, But a lot of women today are single because they haven't met a man who's better at being a man than they already are. Look, she's independent, she's got a good job, handles her shit and solves her problems. So when a man comes into her life and doesn't add anything meaningful to it, he's just another responsibility to her. And that's why the women of today are no longer chasing relationships. They're choosing peace.
And for me, being single is a choice. Like, I'm not just out here entertaining people because I'm lonely or because society says I should be in a relationship or married by now. Like, I believe love is intentional. Love isn't something that should just be played around with or should just be thrown around just because. And I believe the right person will align with the life God is building in me. So instead of me forcing connections with people or somebody, I would rather focus on growing and becoming the woman that I'm meant to be. And I realized that being single is not a bad thing. Like, you being single is literally a season of preparation. And I would rather walk alone with me and God than walk with somebody that's not meant for me.
A person who chooses to stay single is someone who has learned that their peace is way too expensive to hand to the wrong person. You see, they've reached a point in their life where the bare minimum just doesn't impress them anymore. And they would rather sleep all alone than be touched by someone who has no business being in their bed in the first place. So if you're single by choice, don't downplay it. Because you're not being too picky. You're not missing out. You are just refusing to lower your standards and settle for less. And that right there is a power move that most people are too afraid to make. Because they would rather settle for anyone just to say that they have someone.
So today I was asked why I'm single, and the answer is very simple, okay? I am single by choice because if I wanted to be in a relationship, I could just make one phone call and that can change. But these days, these men have no self-control, no self-discipline. They have no courtship. They have no communication. And I'm not saying every man, I'm not saying that. But the men who seem to want to talk to me just think that they could just be in my inbox and just boom, that's just what it is. No, that's not what it is for me, okay? I still believe in flowers, I still believe in dates, I still believe in gifts, I still believe in partnership, and that's just not out there in my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. And for me, I'd rather just stay single. I don't got time. Like, every time I open up a social media app, the same person who is in my DMs are on other females' posts and shit, and it's kind of hilarious. It doesn't make me mad because I honestly don't care, but it just proves a point to me that there's no self-discipline, or everybody's just for everybody, and I'm just not. So that's the answer.
I'm single by choice. I don't date, and no, I don't hate men, but life has been a lot softer without one. I left my abusive ex-husband back in 2018 and started my life with my girls in a completely new state.
Here are 5 reasons why being single in 2026 is actually much smarter than you think. Before I start, my name is Anita. I give you guys tips and tricks that can save your life. So if I were you, I would hit that follow button. Let's go. Number 1, this one's really for my ladies, okay? For the ones that don't already know this, most men, especially at the age of anything under 25, genuinely just want to fuck. And or are going to cheat on you. I'm telling you now, they will cheat on you. Or do you dirty, become just weird. I'm telling you, just don't. Honestly, anything under 25 is some of your most crucial years ever. So do not waste it going back and forth with a man, bro, please. Same thing with guys, all right? I'm not really here. This is mainly for my ladies, but guys, do as you please. Once you realize that 99.9% of men unfortunately cheat or will eventually cheat on you, and that 99.9% of men are simply just tolerating women, you're gonna see life really differently. Literally, I keep seeing posts on my page pop up. A few days ago, I ran into a story time that this dude was giving, and in the story time, he was basically talking about how he met up with a girl that he thought was a hoe. Right? He was expressing how irritated he was because she was not wanting to do the do with him. He was physically getting mad because he thought she was a hoe essentially, and that she would be easy. And he was mad because she did not want to F him. He was saying, what is the point of you being here? Things like that. Shit like that is why I'm not gonna be in a relationship anytime soon. Okay, unless there's some money involved. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not here to preach use men for money, but do what you. Disclaimer, I am not a relationship coach. I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm still young. Number 2, they drain your energy. Relationships drain your freaking energy. Like, imagine having to come out of like a relationship with a guy and then be like, oh my god, that was horrible. Next. Oh, you build up all these feelings, you get attached, and then it's like, oh, something happens, and then, next, okay, and like, no, how do y'all genuinely have the energy to do that every couple freaking months? This is the point where you find a freaking hobby, okay? Find your true life purpose and figure yourself the frick out. Breakups are really blessings in disguises, because I had to really sit down after a breakup with a guy a while ago, like last summer. And I had to, it forced me to ask myself, who am I and what do I want in life? Like, genuinely. So being alone for a very long time forces you to sit with yourself. And whenever you sit with, that's why you see a lot of millionaires, they're typically alone a lot, because whenever you're alone, that's when you get some of the best ideas ever. And that's when you see the most change. Like, if you're constantly having noise and distractions, you're not gonna see that. All right, number 3. So your chances of dying are essentially high whenever you are with a man. This one's more so for women, I guess men too, but like, yeah, just your chances of like being unalive in the next 30 seconds are higher because you're simply in the proximity of a man and he has very much tons of access to you. 4, again, I guess this whole video is mainly for women, but men just see women as props, essentially. This is kind of what I was talking about in the first point, but like, they kind of see us as like props. Another video I saw on my For You page just today, like literally just now, it was like a guy talking about how men don't really see women as like, essentially they just see us as like objects, quite frankly, because his entire video was talking about how men just want to smash, you feel me? Like, they don't really want anything else from you as a woman. Like, you know, all that dating, that romantic stuff, they don't care about marriage. They don't, like, they're just doing that all to get you, because the final aim is just sex. I'm sorry, like the final what do they call it, the end goal is always just to smash with a man. They're quite literally animals. Okay, let me stop. But it's like, once you learn that, I don't know. Next, last point of the day. I learned this one from Shara7, so yay. I don't know if I said this already, but all men cheat. Yeah. This one's a tough pill to swallow, but for the girls that will be in my comment section like, my man isn't cheat, you just haven't found out. Quite literally, you're literally like a text message, a phone checking away. You're one step away from figuring out that this man is actively texting another girl. Like, if given the opportunity to, he would take it. This is not insecurity. This is not me, projecting. No, this is just fact. If he has not, it's because the opportunity has not been presented to him. All right, that's all for today's video. I love you guys. Bye. Please just don't date. Like, literally just focus on your hobbies. Become the best version of yourselves. I love you guys. Bye.
I've been single for 4 years, and I think I'm one of those people that will probably be single for a really long time. One, I care about money. I care about having money. I care about making money. And honestly, talking about money and money in general makes people very uncomfortable. But that's not something that makes me uncomfortable at all. For me personally, the life that I want to live, where I see myself going, money is involved and it's important. There's nothing more I can say about that. 2, my cup is genuinely full. When I was going on the most dates in the longest relationships, my cup was so empty. But I didn't actually know that at the time. But looking back, it does make sense as to why I would stay in certain situations longer. But genuinely, when your cup becomes full, when you're actually happy within yourself, happy with the life that you've built, and you've got a solid community, it's so much more difficult to let someone in, because I'm never going to negotiate on my peace, ever. I'm not going to negotiate on my standards, ever. I just don't see the benefit of doing that. It's like, if you don't fit, it wouldn't make sense to me at this point to let someone in to bring me down. I either want someone to meet me where I am or be ahead. I don't give second chances. I'll be so real, I don't. I give one chance because I understand everybody's human and nobody's perfect. But after that, I don't do benefit of the doubt. I've been there and I've done that. And I just know that there's actually no point. It's not going to go anywhere. Like I said, because my cup is full and I'm actually happy, the idea of suddenly going back and struggling with someone is not appealing to me. I don't go with the flow whatsoever. And sometimes people take this as intensity. The way I see it is, I'm not going with anyone's flow that doesn't know what their intentions are. I'm simply not interested enough. This is why all of my points are going to go back to my cup being full and actually being fulfilled, because I can't understand how it could appeal to me to just have someone in my orbit for absolutely no reason. I think being an intentional person is so important. Respectfully, I actually can't stand people that are just aimless, just doing things just because. No intentions, no aim, just what? what now? Where to now? So me personally, I don't date. But if I do date, it's because I'm going to be open to something meaningful. Because again, I don't see the point of having anything that doesn't have any meaning in my life. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the first person that I meet, I'm going to assume is my soulmate. No. At that point, you still would be going with the flow to see if you vibe, to see if you match. But I know why I'm doing it. Do you get what I mean? Not when someone genuinely does not know what they want whatsoever, but they just want to be in your orbit. Why? I'm just not going to do it. Sorry. And lastly, I seriously don't believe in negotiating on your standards in any way, shape, or form. I don't think anything is unrealistic. I just think there's someone for everyone. Everyone knows what kind of person would suit them best, and that's that. I don't even think that it would be fair on someone to accept them knowing that they're not fully what you want and then try to change them. I'm never going to do that. I don't agree with trying to change people. I completely understand two different people coming together and like having to make their personalities work. But what I don't agree with is actually trying or wanting to change someone fundamentally. You don't like them how they are. You don't like what they stand for. You don't like their mindset. You don't like them in their essence. And then you start trying to make, shift, mold, build. I just don't think that's fair on anyone. And that's why I don't understand shaming people out of their standards. Like, what do you want them to do? Go and be miserable with someone and give them a half-hearted love because you're not into it. It's just so pointless. I'm never going to do it. And obviously that means being single longer because the kind of guy that I want is not just going to be everywhere. I'm aware of that. Those are usually the kind of people that stay single longer. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Singleness is fun and I'm not really in a hurry to like stop that anytime soon. So unless I meet that like soulmate where I'm like, I can't deny that you're everything, I'm just going to stay single. That's just how I see it.
I realized that if you want to be extremely successful as a woman, the best thing to do is to be single. Because as women, we naturally nurturers, we naturally want to give our energy, we naturally want to just give all our creativity and spark and all that to the man that we're with, the person that we're with. But imagine if you don't have somebody there and you're just pouring that all onto yourself and your craft. You're unstoppable. Feminine energy is unstoppable. And that's what a lot of people don't want you to understand. They want you to go rush and get married and have kids and have babies. Like, tap into your power, okay? Tap into that. And like me right now, like I can't even think about being in a relationship. Like, I don't care what your favorite color is. I don't care if you ate today. And I feel as though that if someone was in my life right now, they think I'm a nut job because of how dialed I am. Like, and that'll lead to resentment and stuff like that. So it's like, if you are just in a season of life where you just want to become so freaking successful and push the limit, just be single, stay single. And I'm not saying you can't be successful in a relationship. I'm just saying that you'd probably be more successful if you weren't.
Honestly, no one talks about how being single is the most peaceful thing ever. Like, you don't gotta call anybody. You don't gotta text anybody. No one's blowing up your phone. You're not blowing up somebody else's phone. Like, being single and just worrying about your responsibilities, what you need to do, is the most peaceful thing you can do. Now, I'm not knocking any relationships. You know, you might talk to people, entertain a little bit here and there, but it's nothing that beats actually being single. You know, I don't have to worry about if my girl's getting cracked tonight because I don't have a girl, right? And the same thing for the women. You don't got to worry about a dude that's talking to 5, 6, 7 different girls. You know what I mean? Because you're single. It's just you making money, having fun. You don't got to worry about all that stuff. Honestly, it's stress. It's stressful too on the brain if you really think about it.
It's Valentine's Day and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it. That's me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway, so happy Valentine's Day to all the singles out there. We see each other. We're right there.
As a woman, the smarter you are, the more single you will be. Don't take this the wrong way. As a woman, the smarter and more aware that you are, the more single you will be. Why? Most men, all they require is admiration and complete submission from a partner. Most women, the more smart and more aware that they get, the more that they require more complex and more nuanced things from a partner. And if we live in a world where we're all aware that most people are not that bright, most people are not that smart, what do you think is going to happen? Now, this is not to say that everybody who's in a relationship is not smart or not bright. Because you're like, I have a boyfriend. Does that mean I'm stupid? I can already hear it now. I got a girl. Does that mean I'm not that bright or smart? No, that's not what I'm saying. Sometimes, but for a majority of situations, I'd say that the smarter you are, right? The more aware you are, the more difficult it will be, and the longer that you might remain single. That's why they call it settle down. It's called settle down for a reason. You have to settle down. All that thing, all that rah. So if we know most of the world not that bright, most people are not that smart, and you go amongst those people, you're a different breed. Just say you're a cow going amongst sheep, and you say I can't find a partner. Of course you can't find a partner. You're going moo. They're going bah. You're going moo. They're going bah. It's two different breeds, fam. You're not gonna find a partner here. And that's just what it is. I think sometimes people need to come to terms with that. You might need to dumb yourself down a little bit, if we're being honest. It's just what it is.
These women believe that they have reached heaven on earth, that they have accomplished the mission of utopia, and that for the first time in history, they're not dating men for financial stability and material things, and that they're finally just dating us for our character. And that has led to all of them being single. And they believe that they're at peace and living their best lives being single without a companion.
For the first time in history, women are dating men for their character. For the first time in history? Y'all make it seem like women have only wanted men for their money. These women have always wanted a man with a good character, okay? But the problem is, a lot of men don't have good character. As a matter of fact, they treat women poorly. So now women are deciding to stay single because they want to be at peace, right? You guys are only mad because women are choosing to stay single